I thought my skincare was failing me. Turns out it was my pillow. This anti-aging beauty pillow helped me wake up with smoother skin, less puffiness, and zero sleep lines without adding a single product to my routine. Okay, so they're selling this pillowcase with a skincare angle. They have an X and a check mark. Okay. My nightly routine was perfect, or so I thought. I didn't cut corners when it comes to skincare. Saw my cotton. What's all this effort being undone by 8 hours of sleep with my face smashed onto this thing? Okay, so first things first, they talked about I swapped my cotton pillowcase for silk on my friend's recommendation. So clearly they're framing like because the first thing when I read this headline, I'm thinking people already sell pillowcases for skincare, right? Because when you're selling a product, you got to think how sophisticated the market is, right? How many offers that have been used, how many angles that have been used before you're selling your product. So when it comes to pillowcases, people sell them for comfort, and over time, people start selling them for other things, right? So in this case, they're selling it for skincare. I've seen brands run pillowcases for skincare, but it's really important here. They said, I even swapped my cotton pillowcase for silk on a friend's recommendation. So even me, I had a cotton pillowcase before, and I swapped it to silk. But still, like, I'm thinking, maybe there is a pillowcase that's actually better than silk for my skin. And when you're writing your advertorials, especially important in the very beginning to get their attention, you got to make sure these guys feel relatable, and you got to talk about the obvious facts in your prospect's mind. Okay? Because your target, avatar reading this advertorial, they probably already tried, a silk pillowcase. So just mentioning it here is like, oh, so they're not talking about what I've already tried already. So it's something new, which will get them to read and understand it more, right? So they're talking about sleep wrinkles. Okay, they're educating them. Repeated friction, compression. Okay, I was horrified. Googling. Sleeping on my back. Still cases, nothing worked. Okay, and then it's a pillow designer. Can someone just design a pillow that prevents wrinkles when you sleep? So they're calling the problem wrinkles, I guess. That and pressure as well on your facial skin as to why your sleep wrinkles occur. So sleep wrinkles, okay, now they said skincare and they're mentioning wrinkles. I'm kind of mixing up the two. Like, generally, let's say there's a 20 or 30-year-old who's talking about skincare. I mean, typically, they're not first thinking about wrinkles. They're thinking about, like, the quality of their skin. Like, if it's dry or, like, when you're talking wrinkles, you're going to think of, like, an old lady, right? Like, an old person with wrinkles. So, I'm kind of, a bit confused. Like, they're kind of targeting, like, not really as specific as I would personally write an advertorial. That was until I met Olivia. Beauty sleep. Okay. Nap Bay. Oh, okay. I like the name. It definitely sounds a lot more like younger, kind of trendy. Like 20s, mid 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s. Like Nap Bay. Okay. I like this. This shows like some sort of, like, it makes it kind of seem like there's a science behind it. How much is it? Just $44.99 plus a $10 free gift card. I ordered mine that night. I actually like this. I barely see anyone offering gift cards along with purchases, and especially coming from, a pillowcase brand. You can just have people refer other people to buy your product too. First night I slept. After a week, I was asking if I was using a new serum. Difference was deniable. No effort skincare. Okay, when I was on a flight, preserved my glow. Oh, okay. This kind of looks nice right here. Like it's actually got a structure to it. I thought they were talking about pillowcases. Oh, okay, so it's an entire pillow. So I guess they got this pillow thing right here. I'm guessing it comes with a little covering. I would at least want to know if it comes with a covering on it that you can wash. Okay. Wait. I feel like they just got pictures of women and then they just put it, which is actually really good. Like, you can literally just take photos of, like, let's say your testimonial, your avatar, right? Like, if you're selling to women, just take, these Instagram pictures of women and then just put it as your testimonial. Because you're kind of selling the outcome. You're selling skin, right? Your glowing skin. You don't actually need them to be with the pillow, right? But, of course, nowadays with AI, you can literally just generate realistic people with your product. So I mean, either way, just literally go on Instagram, just search up, like, I don't know, some popular influencers. Boom, you have like unlimited photos that you could just take. Now you don't want to do some big person like, let's say, Kim Kardashian, because people are gonna obviously know. Like, if you rename it to like some random it's not really gonna be believable. I like this, and they got the Trust Pilot right here. Pretty clean. Nappe works and no other pillow does. They got the images with the icon descriptions. Okay, low stock alert due to viral TikTok reviews and shoutouts for major beauty influencers. Okay. And then they got their CTA here. $1 a day for 30 days. Okay, I like the CTA. Here's how to get your nappe. Your skin deserves sleep. That works in your favor. Ooh, this is really good. So they got like Fox 5 News, and then they got this lady right here with the pillow. I will say one thing, and generally, like, you have this image of this reporter right here, but you don't want to lose customers because of political views, right? Because if you're selling to the US is like very, politically aligned in people's identities, right? There's like the Democrats and the Republicans who, like, deeply rooted, growing up even, they have this kind of political perspective where they'll just argue with someone in the other political party. Okay, I don't do politics, but this is just how it is in the US. And if you have this network, which Fox 5 is known as like a kind of like a Republican focused news network, you don't want people who are like Democratic, who like absolutely loathe and hate this news network, just to not buy because they reviewed the product. So that's just something to remember. Okay, there's news that people see all the time, and you just got to think of it when you're coming up with images or ideas in your advertorials. Your skin deserves sleep that works in your favor. Okay, so generally I will say it's a okay advertorial. This could definitely work. Let me see with the product page. Oh, that didn't even work. Anyways, they got this little thing here. Buy two, get one free. Okay, so it's a very simple product page. They got their reviews there. This is formatted for mobile. Okay. Right, so actually the product does kind of look good, like these pictures of the product. But I will say, I mean, it's probably some job shipper who ripped the product and then put it on their website. That's what I'm guessing, which is fine. I mean, but I will say the advertorial is decent. It's decent. It's definitely generally it follows how a typical advertorial will go. I will say if I'm improving it, let me just see how many words this is. How many words is this? Word count 1350 words. I think it's a bit short. You don't really need that much, especially for a product this cheap. If they're trying to run a brand though, they definitely need to charge more on this product alone. Like, how much was it? It was, okay, 63 Canadian. I'm guessing it changed to Canadian. They said it was, no, they said it was like $40. $44.99 USD, right? So if it's $44.99 USD, they definitely need to charge more. Like, to be honest, I would charge like, there's not much margin for this, all right? They wouldn't be able to scale unless they're running like upsells on the back end. And I'm thinking, how much upsell are they running on the back end? Really, they should just be charging more on the front end and running upsells on the back end. Where $44.99, you can literally charge like $80 for this. Okay, you can charge $100 even. This type of pillow, you have to sell the research and discovery. Like, actually, if I was writing this advertorial, I would go over, like, literally, I would kind of go over the scientific aspect of it. Okay, I would focus on the mechanism, how this pillow actually works, and the structure of the pillow that's completely different from everyone else. I would probably create like a narrative that talks about this exact pillow and how it was developed. Maybe someone had like sleep apnea, or someone had some sleep disorder, and then they created the pillow. And the pillow is specifically designed after 500 failed tests, right? You kind of got to educate them and tell them it's not easy to just have a pillow shaped into this kind of shape and then call it a day and call it ergonomic, right? So that's what you got to do with this type of advertorial, because they're selling a pillow, right? But like, come on, it's just a pillow. And what these guys are doing, they're selling it at a cheap price. That's why people are buying it. People are buying it because it's cheap, but you never want to compete on price. Okay, if you want to scale, you want to be charging a lot. You don't have to charge a lot on the front end, but overall your AOV should be much higher. And for these guys, okay, like, they should be writing a lot more and better copy and just charging more straight up. Okay, if I was these guys, I would probably have like a little diagram, maybe like a skeleton, maybe even like a mini GIF video, like a scientific video that's like a few seconds, where it's like just showing a skeleton like sleeping on a pillow versus this pillow, right? So you're showing the comparison and like how your spine is like this. You can literally sell, I guess, a bit of fear, where one person's review, like, you can put a little section like this person's experience, and then they say, I was like 30 and then this happened to me. And okay, now I'm realizing I went a bit off track, but those are like other different angles that you can sell for this anti-wrinkle pillow, right? You can sell it as an anti-wrinkle pillow. Of course, when you make an advertorial, you want to stay on the same kind of idea, which these guys generally did. But like, if you're selling this for skincare, you gotta like kind of explain it and show why it's really good for skincare and why other pillows are not good for skincare, whether it be the outside material, right? Some people might say, like if you explain to them it's the pillowcase, some people might say, okay, so why don't I just get a different pillowcase on my current pillow? My current pillow has a bigger surface area than this. You can also, like, to combat that, you can say, oh, the material that the pillow was made out of is purposely made for skincare and like breathability and whatever. So you kind of gotta get people to believe it. Like, the pillow looks interesting in itself, but you kind of gotta explain the mechanism, because these guys, like, of course, like in the US, they would literally spend for anything. But imagine you just explain the pillow. And looking at this, I'm thinking, what if they made a pillow with some electronic thing, like massaging their head? But anyways, that's just a thought. So when you're making these advertorials, you can, like, just keep in mind that, of course, like I mentioned here, that you're thinking of your exact customer avatar, and you're making the advertorial catered towards them, and you're considering external factors that could affect your sales, which is Fox 5 might scare away a bunch of, Democratic affiliated people. But generally these guys did pretty well. They made the advertorial look pretty good, actually, with the colors. It's simple, it's not too much going on. I would probably add like a header right here, with some selling out or some timer or some special sale. You could say like winter sale, holiday sale, whatever. I like these little social media things. You should always include these in your advertorials, like on the top. They just give a lot of extra trust, and it looks like a real article. And, I would double down on the kind of diagrams like this, maybe a graph, maybe a scientific, GIF video that you can implement showing like skin and how it's being like enhanced or whatever, right? You can really have also like a video or image of a person with like sparkles, and then, kind of the outcome, what they want, right? But generally, if you're running like a pillow brand, I would recommend you follow or take inspiration from Blissy. Blissy, they have a lot of advertorials and listicles that they run. So you can kind of just look at their brand and see what they're doing and kind of implement some things with yourself, with your own angles, of course. But yeah, that's basically it. If you need an advertorial and you're running a brand and you're running meta ads, I make advertorials typically for people who run meta ads, brands that run meta ads. You can message me on X. I'll reply. Feel free to reach out to me, and I can help with your advertorials if you need one.